Welcome to the Epoxy Business Podcast.
Proud member of the Woodpreneur Network, home of the #1 podcast in the wood industry. I'm Steve from Acres of Timber and Woodpreneur Life, and along with my co-host Jake from Loggin Sawmill, we'll be diving into the world of resin and epoxy every week. If you're a maker or wood entrepreneur interested in learning the ins and outs of the epoxy business, this is the place for you. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
The Epoxy Business Podcast is proudly sponsored by
Loggin Epoxy, the premier epoxy and resin system for professional makers and wood business owners. Making exceptional products starts with the right tools and materials. Visit ologginepoxy.com today and find out how to take your projects to the next level. Once again, that's ologginepoxy.com.
Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Epoxy Business Podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
Hey, it's co-host Jake with Loggin Sawmill.
So we are in Canada right now. We're actually in our hotel room where we're bunked up like college roommates, staying up late like we're
we're partying all over again.
Like we're 20 years old.
Yes. We just can't recover. I can't recover like I'm in my 20s anymore, Steve.
Yeah, I know. It's a very but anyway, so I had quite a journey to get here. Jake got here on a Thursday. No, you got here on a Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon.
And when I went to the airport, a couple minutes before I got to the airport, my flight was canceled. And because there was some severe thunderstorms in Montreal. So just to back up, so Jake and I, what we're going to talk about today was just meeting up for the first time in 5 years since we connected, 3 years in business. We're here because of our partner Lab Surface, who makes all of Loggin Epoxy. They're here. So we flew out. And we're going to Formula One race, which is pretty awesome. But I'll tell you how. Anyway, I had to fly through Cancun to get to Montreal, and it was nuts. And so Jake got to Jake was here before. So tell us, what'd you do before we met up together in Montreal?
Well, Thursday night when I came in, I went and toured the city because I had to find my way around. And everyone speaks French here. There's a lot of people that speak English too, but I was not prepared for everyone speaks French. And then all the signs are in French. I got lost on the subway. And then I finally were finding people that could speak English as well. And I was able to find my way around Thursday. And Steve was supposed to be with me Thursday night, and we were supposed to get lost together. So it was quite a journey on my own there for a little bit. And Steve, I did not know that Steve also speaks a little bit of French.
I speak a little bit of French. Yeah, I grew up, Haitian, Haiti, has a Creole and Creole. So I grew up with a lot of French around, and I used to spend a lot of time in Montreal growing up. And so yeah, I was bummed that I couldn't be here on the same night, but I literally had to make my way here, because otherwise, if I didn't, which is honestly like a big lesson in business, is that sometimes you got to go the extra mile in order to because it was really important. I think it was really important for me to be here, because if I didn't, my rescheduled flight would have gotten me in on Sunday morning, like early morning, like 1 a.m. And I would have missed the whole entire experience. Right. And so, like when I met up with Jake, I finally flew in from Mexico to Canada, got my passport stamped twice in one day, which is so, yeah, I mean, I'm just really, really happy to be here. And, so, yeah, I mean, tell everybody, because I got to miss. So on Friday, Jake got to go to Lab Surface and then hang out with the Lab Surface Jonathan, who was a prior guest. Tell us just about the experience. If you could just walk everybody through.
So at Lab Surface, they have a 23,000 square foot facility with 6 mixing barrels, actually 8 mixing barrels two smaller ones, and then they're bigger ones, like 2,000 gallons for these barrels. Because you got to understand, Lab Service has been around for 15 plus years since Jonathan took over. And it started from literally nothing to like ink packages to chemists. Now he has 2 chemists and 35 associates, and they're getting ready to do a 60,000 square foot building. So they're moving out of their 23,000 square foot building, moving into a 60,000 square foot because they're massively growing, and we're growing with them. And so Jonathan was also made assure to us that we're not just a white label, we're a partner in this. And that's huge, because there's very few manufacturers in epoxy. And a couple of those manufacturers, they white label everybody. So it just confirmed to me that this is a good partnership. And walking through the facility and meeting all the employees and actually meeting the chemists one-on-one, everybody was just super nice, super friendly.
What surprised you the most about visiting now? Like, what was a big aha when you walked into Lab Service? His
2 chemists, his lab.
Yeah.
You know, the actual lab that he has, big lab with the chemists in there, and then their mixing barrels. You had to look up at them. Yeah. Like, you understand, 2,000 gallons is a lot of gallons. These mixing barrels are massive. I have seen other epoxy companies mixing barrels, and these are the biggest ones. They're not the same. No, it's a completely different ball game with Lab Service. And Lab Service, not too many people really hear too much of Lab Service, because they're a flooring company. They're a flooring manufacturer, and they're just now getting into the casting world, and they're putting 100% faith into us that we're gonna take the casting world to the next level. So it was really exciting to see and watch and take a tour and meet everybody.
And then what'd you do after that? What'd you do after visiting Lab Service?
After visiting Lab Service, then we went to the Formula One racing event. There's a 3-day event, qualifying event, and then today is race day.
Yeah. What? I mean, you're very new to Formula One.
Yes.
Like, what? How would you describe the vibe in the scene?
It is absolutely insane. There's so many Ferraris and Lamborghini, and so many people with money around here. I felt underdressed.
Yeah, Montreal has a lot of money floating around. There's like global money, like that. I mean, the amount of Ferraris and Lamborghinis on the street is
it's
kind
crazy.
of a lot.
It's insane. Right? Yes, and then everybody's dressed in suits. Montreal's very clean.
Yeah,
very, very clean, and the subway systems are very, very clean. It's been pretty mind-boggling coming in. I'm not used to stuff like this.
Yeah, for sure. I was a fan of Formula One, and somehow, some way, we were able to make it happen. I mean, should I tell the story? Able to make it happen. Should I tell the story? So I had been manifesting this for a while. Uh-huh. Like I wanted to go to a Formula One race, and I knew that a good way to do it. So anyway, these guys are in Montreal. Before we were working with somebody else who was our intermediary. And I was like, I want to go to a Formula One race. I want to go and visit you guys. And I knew that, like, with him not being part of the picture, and we have direct access to the CEO and the management team there, if you listen to the other podcasts, we talked about, like, we were going through some challenges with our product, the crystallization. We talked about that with Jonathan, and on one of our calls, Jonathan was like, "Oh, it'd be great for you to come and see here." And then, I'm like an opportunist, right? Like I see an opening, and if I see a door opening, I just run right through it. And so I was like, "Yeah, we should."
And you said it with such confidence. I couldn't believe it. You should take us to Formula One, and you should take us out. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, he says. I went, I cannot believe Steve just pulled that out of the hat.
But the way that I did it was like, I said, we will fly ourselves there, and you take care of the rest. And he was like, I remember he was like, so wait, you will take yourself here, and he was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe, I We're here.
We're here. I mean, but let's not, make this a joke. Like, we're here to do business. Like, we're here, like, he invested in us.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he invested. This is an investment trip. And at the same time, like, I mean, we'll talk about like last night, but was... like, yeah, but like, you know what I mean? And so when I landed, I met up with Jake. So like, Jake, this is our first time meeting each other.
And we've known each other for 5 years. And then social media for 3, we've been working together for over 3 years.
We literally talk every other day.
Yeah.
Texting.
And then first time we've actually got to meet up.
We probably would have met up sooner, but there's a pandemic, right?
Yeah,
so like,
right.
But it's kind of crazy.
It is.
We've generated hundreds of thousands of dollars between our businesses together, and we've never met.
Yeah. That's the power of social media, Steve. That's the power.
That is the power of the internet, social media, connecting, networking. Yeah, it's really, man. I'm really glad to meet you in person.
Yes. I'm really glad that all this came down. And what really, after last night...
before you go there.
Okay.
I'm glad that when we met each other in person, we're so cool.
Yeah, right?
Because that would have been awkward.
Yeah, it would have been really awkward.
I was like, damn, I got to untangle myself from this business relationship with you.
Now we realize we are good friends. Yeah. We're in this for the long haul now. We're good. We're buddies at this point.
We are very opposite people, grew up very opposite, but we have the same values. Yes. We want the same things. We're family oriented. We're community minded. And we want to put out great products and do great things with great people, right? Like,
we want to start a community and a family, and we've been doing that, and it's just growing, and it's getting way bigger than I ever could have imagined, Steve.
Yeah. So yesterday, it was raining. It was, oh my God, the rain was just so.
And it's June. It's June and it's cold.
It's cold and it was raining. And yeah. So anyway, we actually had to go to the store to buy jackets and shit.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I wasn't prepared for that. I live in Arkansas, so it was hot and humid, 100 degrees when I left. And then coming up to Canada, I ended up having to buy it.
It's like 50 degrees here. It's very, and it was rainy. So it was like one of those things where you're like, you know what? Rain sucks, but, a lot of money was spent to be here.
Yeah. It made the race interesting.
It made the race interesting. Yeah.
Couple of little accidents here and there. No one got hurt, but made it entertaining.
And I mean, so I got into it a couple years ago, and then if you guys watched the Netflix Drive to Survive, that was on. So like I kind of got familiar with Formula One, but it's kind of something to like watch the most powerful cars in the world go around a track, right? Like,
yes, this is a worldwide. There's people from all over the world
here. It's so nuts.
I've never experienced anything like that. I've never been
like the lowest ticket is like $300.
Yeah.
The cheapest.
And we got good seats too.
The cheapest, like literally it's so expensive to come to a Formula One race.
How much was that hat, Steve?
Oh, this hat that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
So this is Lewis Hamilton hat. Why are you going to put me on the spot? So this is a Mercedes. I'm wearing a Mercedes hat. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champ. So anyway, I bought his hat from Mercedes. I spent $80 on a regular hat.
I can't wait till Loggin epoxy hats sell for $80.
$80, yes. But if you buy now, you could get it for cheap. But when our stock price goes up,
right? Just goes to show you about brands, man. After coming here, there was a jacket or a sweatshirt for $270. I didn't realize that Formula One was so much money.
This is a wealthy man's sport. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's nuts, man.
I'm a fan now after going.
Of course you are. Of course you
I'm watching it all the time now.
Of course you are. Of course. And then you're gonna watch the Netflix Drive to Survive.
Yes,
put that on rotation.
You and Jonathan were both talking about. Jonathan was talking about that before you came. Then you were flabbergasted, or you were talking about it And so now I have to watch this Netflix episode.
Oh my God.
Pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple seasons too. It's a lot of fun. But we got to go to Austin too, October.
Oh yeah,
there's a Formula One race there.
Yeah, in Austin.
You know what we should do?
Do Woodpreneur.
I'll do a Woodpreneur. Look at you.
See, I'm already set.
I'll do a Woodpreneur meetup.
We're friends now. I know your mind.
You know, do a Woodpreneur meetup, and then we'll do Formula One. So what was I gonna say? So yesterday, we met with Stefan. What's Stefan's title? He's a director.
He's a director of sales.
Director of sales. So he's like our day-to-day contact. I mean, Jonathan's our day-to-day contact.
Yeah.
We got direct line to Jonathan. I know Jake talks about it a lot. Like, Lab Surface is no joke. It's not like, and I don't want to crap on any other epoxy brands really, but like really there's like maybe 3 to 4 epoxy brands that actually make their own stuff.
Yeah. Actually,
from raw material. Everybody else is repackaging, rebranding, and they all get from the same 1 to 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jonathan, so we met up after the Formula One qualifiers yesterday. We met up with Jonathan at every restaurant was booked and packed. So Jonathan's wife, lovely lady, Celia, she's got connections. She's got connections. So she got us into like this fancy sushi restaurant.
Right on the main event of
the strip.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were able to go there.
And she got us a hotel right in the middle of Montreal.
Downtown Montreal.
Downtown within weeks' notice, and everything's booked. And it just so happens that she knew the owner of this hotel, was able to hook us up with the room. She knew the owner of the restaurant, and then the private party event that we went to after the restaurant.
Yeah, we went to a nightclub yesterday.
And it was like
we were 21 years old. Like we went to a nightclub.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a typical nightclub. It was an exclusive nightclub.
Yes.
Like the owner. It was
like a Formula One night. It was like a special night.
Not anybody could just go in there. You had to be on a list and all that kind of. I felt for the first time, and I've never felt like important, and so this was my first experience of just feeling somewhat important. I'm all going in on a list, and I felt underdressed, and they're letting me in. I got a hat on. I probably shouldn't have had a hat on, man. It was just great. It was an outstanding experience.
Yeah, the place. I mean, first of all, the restaurant, the food was delicious, and then secondly, we went to this nightclub, and then the nightclub was it was like in this old, I don't know, like cavern.
Oh, they said it was made in the 1500s.
Yeah,
it was, or 1600s.
Like a monastery.
Yeah, and then you go down in this little cave type tunnel underneath the city, and then it opens up to this little nightclub, little dance place. It reminded me like a scene off the movie Blade or something like that. Like we're gonna run into some vampires or something. It was really,
there was
cool.
Like laser lights
everywhere. Yeah.
And like music and drinks were flowing, and we were like dancing and talking. And
the dinner was a lot of business talk. And I'm telling you, there's so much down the pipeline that we can't share right now.
We made a lot of headway on our relationship. Yes. A lot of things confirmed.
Yeah, we'll it's for me, Steve, it's going to be a whole new ball game whenever we get back home. A lot of stuff that is going to be down the pipeline that we're going to focus on, and it's going to be a positive thing, not just for you and I, but for our community.
Yeah, I think, you take for granted the fact that you can, call people on Zoom or FaceTime, but like having actual in real life conversations where you can see people just really validates a lot. Like you, when I lock my mind into something and an opportunity, I kind of don't let go. Like I've done this with a lot of my businesses, and now with Loggin Epoxy, it's like when that heaven's gate opens up, you're like,
yes. Yeah, it all comes to light.
I'm like, oh, Oh yeah, we're like, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're here, and people better watch out.
Yeah. We're
not here to play around at all. This is not like a side hobby fun thing anymore.
No, well, it's not like me and you are manufacturing the stuff. We have a partner now that has all the bells and whistles and has the playbook. And we just got to go.
You got the playbook.
Yeah. And we got to go by the playbook and execute and start a family and a community. And it's a long-term investment. This isn't something we just want quick bucks and quick money or anything like that. We want long-term investments. Our distributors, we want to invest a lot in our distributors and have a long-term relationship.
We're also going to change what the word distributor means for us.
Yes. Yeah. Because we started this jumping out of the gate, and we're going to change a few things. And talking with Jonathan, who's experienced in this for many, many years now, we're going to play by his playbook, and we're going to do things differently. And I'm really excited.
Look at that I don't know if you even noticed. On the wall behind us, you see the
I just noticed that yesterday.
Isn't that funny? Anyway, if you're watching the video, you'll see there's like some crazy painting thing. It looks like two people kissing, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
they look like they're gonna kiss the lamp.
I didn't really know what that was at first when I came in.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing it from this point of view.
We're very distracted at the moment. So. Anyway, the point is that we're not going to play around, and we have an incredible opportunity, new products, new opportunities, just new angles.
We're gonna help people. I keep saying this, but we're helping people's brands with this, with the podcasts, right? With all the social media stuff that we're getting ready to do, and then on top of this, the playbook that we're getting ready to.
The playbook I'm very excited for. Oh man, we got so much.
Yes.
We got so much.
But we got to do the race today. Today's race day.
Today's race day.
Today's the
Do you have a team yet that you like?
Your Mercedes team.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm super excited. This goes without saying. So I've been very fortunate in my life, in my business, to have a lot of these types of business opportunities. I've been able to travel around the world. And I know that this is kind of for you, like one of the first times that you get to do something like this. Yeah. And I have to remind myself, and actually being around you make me realize like, oh, this is like, because I've done this a lot, like, that I've taken business trips for granted. I do business trips all the time, right? And so like I get to do this, and I realize that like, oh, we're so blessed, man. Mm-hmm. We're so blessed. Like literally from us working together, like it was a DM. We DM'd. I was like, hey, you want to be on my podcast?
That's how it all started.
Right?
Yeah, that's how it all started. And then when you first interviewed me, I didn't want to get big at all. I just want to live under the radar and make maybe 50,000 a year. And that was it. And then 5 years later, look at us now.
It's mind-boggling. And I guess, what I have to say, if like you're listening to this, is that like, don't let go of your dreams. If you think about your goals, like what would it look like if you like 2x or 3x what you thought was possible? Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're like the fact that we co-own an epoxy business together.
It's mind-boggling for me.
Yeah,
this is all new to me, man. You guys got to understand. I started this as a hobby, and the more you network, it's all because of social media is why we're in the spot and networking. And the more you network with people, and the more you start relationships with people, the opportunities are endless in business.
Literally, people that we only met online, like we're now doing business with.
Mm-hmm.
So like, And I mean, listen, if you guys listen, I mean, if this is part of the Woodpreneur network and podcast, and you listen to Woodpreneur podcast, you hear me talk about this. And this podcast is really documenting how Jake and I are building the Loggin epoxy brand. So like, we're literally taking you on this journey with us. And this is not like one of my interviews where I say, but like, stop playing fucking small. Like, everybody stop playing small and go for your goals. Cause like, we're going for it, right?
We're going all out.
We're literally, I mean, well,
and we want to take you guys with us too. Like,
yeah,
we want to start this community.
And literally it starts with going to ologginepoxy.com. Join the community.
Nice sales pitch.
Go to the community. Because like, listen, you're not going to hear any of the other brands talk like this.
No,
at all.
What other brands are going to try and help you out and help your brand and help you grow?
Zilch. Zero. None.
We're the only one doing this right now until they listen to this podcast.
And then they jack us.
They're going
to jack the idea, but they're not going to do it.
No,
because they got other things.
We have a foundation right now, and we're starting something new, and it's going to help everyone in this community.
So listen, in Formula One terms, when you say you go all out, they actually say you go flat out. Flat out means like you literally throttle, pedal to the metal. So we're going flat out with Loggin epoxy.
Yes, and thanks to you, Steve, and everything of the knowledge. I try and surround myself with people who are better than me so I can learn more. And that same goes for you guys as listeners and stuff like that. We're just setting a foundation to help you guys out within anything, business questions, how to run a business, how to start a business. And then as you're going through the businesses, what opportunities that we have dealt with that can help you out in the very beginning. So I am very excited for this little journey that we got going on.
It's super exciting. Yeah, we got to go to the race today.
Yes,
we got to.
Unfortunately, we got big things to do today. we got a lot going on.
We got to also seal deals. Solidify. Further solidify relationships, because really what it is it comes down to trust, right? Like, and trust that you're gonna follow through on what you say, and trust that that your partners are gonna just be there for you, and I'm beyond excited, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the next chapter, and then I'm ready to bring you guys along. With us. So
cool, man. All right, so we gotta hop off. So actually, the next couple episodes, maybe do a recap from this as the next episode. But we're actually gonna I've been thinking about doing a series, and this is a series about actually how to get into the epoxy business. So maybe we'll just dissect a little bit more your journey.
No, I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll do each episode will be step by step. And get to that point. And then during the process, we'll get other people. So Jonathan was just telling me about some of these other distributors and how they're killing it. So we'll get them on board. We'll get them on the podcast for them to see. Because again, if you're in a wood business, you really should be in the epoxy business. And so that's why we created this podcast. So I'm super excited, man.
Yeah. And there's a few distributors out there that are doing way more volume than I am with our own brand, so I want to tap into their brains, and I want to tap in and see what they're doing that I could learn off with what I'm doing with my distributorship. So it's not like we're all in this together, guys. We're all learning and everything together. It's not like we got it figured out. And so interviewing other distributors, and we're not just going to interview distributors too, we're going to interview customers and interview customers. And then maybe as a customer, help you become a distributor and help you make more money in this game.
Because our distributor margins are pretty good.
They're really good. They're one of the best out there with everyone else. And not only are the margins good, the promotions that we're giving everybody is I think better what anybody else is doing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Epoxy Business Podcast, proudly sponsored by Loggin Epoxy. Make sure you subscribe and follow us so you don't miss the next episode. For more information on other offerings from the Woodpreneur Network, you can check out woodpreneurlife.com. We'll see you next week.